Josh, where are you? Okay, now I have to see. Oh,
We did it.
hi.
I'm great.
How
Good to
are
see you.
Good to see you. Oh my gosh, Josh. I have to say that I I I'm so thankful that you did this duet with me and that we've been able, it was funny because when we first talked about it and we finished the song and you said, "Oh, I
Yeah.
can't wait to do this live with you." And I was like,
Oh,
"Oh, that would be a dream. That would be an absolute
that's always,
dream."
yeah, and then we got to do it. That's always
And
something I
then
think about. It's a fun thing to think about when you're in the studio, because there is such a wonderful feeling to trying to get it right and being in the lab and getting the nuances right. But the thing that inspires me when I'm in a studio session is what would it be like to be in front of an audience with this and to get the live atmosphere. So in the back of my head, I was hoping we'd get a chance to do that, and
it's
then we had the perfect opportunity. So no, all thanks to you. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, it truly was the perfect opportunity because it was Radio City Music Hall. Like, who's going to say no to
Yeah,
that?
I mean,
By the way, I'm seeing all these comments coming in. Turkey, Brazil, Austria, Quebec.
we're global.
It's pretty exciting. I just love that idea. Yeah. Do you remember like when you were little and you would go to Disneyland and there was a thing called the Carousel of Progress, and there's somebody from Serbia too, and you would, hear about all the things that were going to be in your future that were going to be amazing, like a watch that you could talk to somebody
I
on
remember
on your
Dick
watch
Tracy.
and
Remember
see
the
their
Dick Tracy
face.
movie with Warren Beatty, and they had he
Yes.
had that watch he could talk into, and I just remember thinking as a kid, like that's no, that's never going to happen in my lifetime. But how cool that they thought of that. Yeah.
No, I mean, that really, I still can't believe it, which got me just thinking of that, because here we are and we are able
Yes.
to talk to each other on these little devices and have people from all over the world join in. And I have to say, that's the
It
power
is. Well,
of
we
music
when we
too,
recorded this
because
duet, we were just listening to each other, on a headset. I mean, I was telling when I talk to people about this song and making albums right now and making albums during quarantine and all that stuff. I mean, we wouldn't have been able to do it, 15 years ago, the way we were able to do it now. And there's a lot of bad to technology at the moment, but there's, when it comes to creating music and being able to do
yeah,
things, especially in uncertain times, I'm very, very grateful that we have the convenience of technology right now.
100%. And I know that you're on tour right now, which is, you're playing some of the most beautiful, divine
No,
venues. Do
I'm
you
in
have
New
a show
York.
tonight, by the way?
I have a day off. We just played Boston last night. We're playing Jones Beach in New York tomorrow night. But
Yeah.
it's been so great. I mean, it's like what we felt at Radio City. It's just so nice to be in front of people again after, we did these live stream concerts, during the pandemic, where you're singing into a camera for 90 minutes and it's just crickets, but crickets at the end of each song. I
Incredible.
mean, it's a singer's worst nightmare to have silence at the end of a song. So, to have the energy of being back out there again with my friends in the band and just being able to see the country again is really very, very special.
I always say this because people sometimes ask, and they probably ask you this too, like when you're an actor, but you also sing, what do you like better or what's different? And I always say that anytime you're performing live, whether it's in a play or a musical or a concert, is that the audience is as much a part of that performance as your script, your actors, your material, because I feel them. I feel that connection, and that's why live performing.
There's nothing that
no
can
substitute
substitute.
for. Hi, Shane. Say
Oh, hi,
hi, my friend
Shane.
Shane McAnally's on there. Hi, Shane.
It's like Wizard of Oz, and you were there, and you were there.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I interrupted
Everybody's
you.
coming to say hi. Yeah, it's you can pirate a lot of things, you can steal a lot of things, you can duplicate, there's a lot of things that shift and change, but there's nothing, no YouTube video, handheld iPhone video is ever going to duplicate how it feels to be in the same space. And I think that's,
No.
there's so much gratitude now on all facets of live performance, how much we, how much we appreciate and love and need live art and live culture in our lives. It's nice to be back.
It's so true. And all the people are writing in about how amazing
Oh,
your
thanks
show
for
was last night in
Boston was a great
Boston.
crowd. Thank you for coming.
But when, yeah. Oh, we have people
Hey,
from
Adam.
Zurich, Switzerland now here too. But here's the thing too about like when you talked about technology before, and we did this show, our duet together. Just
Yeah.
a little background on that was, okay, pandemic, what are you going to do? And there is this technology now called audio movers, which allows you to be in a session in real time. So you were in New York, I was in LA, and it was incredible. And when I want people to know this about you, because I think it's so, I just would have never expected this answer from you. But when I talked to you about doing the song Songbird, and you said to me, and I don't know if you remember this, gosh, Rita, no one ever asks me to sing songs like this. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, and I think well, maybe you should describe what you meant by that, because people would probably want to hear it
Well,
in your own words.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
do
I
you
mean,
know what
I
I'm
was
talking
so
about?
touched. We've known each other a long time, and I was so touched. First of all, you know,
And we met
that's, oh my
through
gosh, that's right.
Sarah
Through our dear
Bareilles.
friend, another another angelic voice. She's and a great connector of people.
Thank you.
Sarah keeps really great people around her. And Rita, I've loved your voice for a
Yeah.
very, very long time. You've got such an extraordinary ability to interpret, and singing with you is like butter. But no, this is it's
Thank you.
there's always the pressure to to find the, what's the next beat going to be, or what's the next thing that means. There's these a lot of times with collaborations, you're looking for, I don't know what you're looking for, but with Songbird, it's a song that you just let it be. There's so much beautiful message in it, and there's so much that just is allowed to happen vocally without having to go through any kind of vocal histrionics, and it's always about, you got to have the biggest high note, and you got to have the the most show-offy key change. And a lot of times with my singing, there's oftentimes this ask of like, well, just give us that big thing, and it was just so lovely to be able to just tell the story with you, and to be able to just sit in the beauty and the simplicity of this gorgeous melody and this gorgeous song, and just let it float. And to do that was a great thrill, and sometimes even more challenging as a vocalist, when you don't have the giant stuff to jump towards and hide behind almost sometimes. You have to go to a deeper place.
Well, that was the thing that was so surprising to me, because you brought so much humanity and tenderness to the duet. And I kind of felt like, when I was thinking of how do you re-envision something that isn't traditionally a duet, and I always thought, wow, maybe it's like a little conversation. And when you did your part, I felt like this was so intimate to me. It felt like a conversation that two people would be having in the most intimate of ways, like when they, with full trust and full connection. And that's really what I got out of your performance. I was just like, oh my God, this is so good. And you had done these really beautiful, those oohs that are in the song, right? And I hadn't put those in. And when I heard those, I was like, oh my God, I got to go in and do some oohs around that, because I kept on, just the image I kept on getting
Yeah,
was like vines.
it's a dance.
These are vines that
Yeah.
are wrapping around each other. Oh, it was so, I don't know. I just
that's my
loved
favorite
it. I
part,
loved it
when a
so
great
much.
duet is forming and shape shifting, is when those moments start to start to find themselves. You have a blueprint when you go into it. You kind of have an idea of who's going to sing what line, and maybe you'll take this harmony, I'll take that harmony. But then my favorite part of a duet process, which is what you're describing, is when, you know, you just those moments start to pop up, and you realize that there's more of an interpretive and improvisational dance that starts to happen with it, that our voices together blended really, really beautiful with.
Yeah.
So no, I was feeling it too. It was great.
Yeah, no, I was like, so you hear it, right? So we do it and it's done. And then I get this amazing, you know, text from you. Do you want to do this sing it live at Radio City Music Hall? It's like, that's the first time I'm ever going to sing this song. I talk about
oh, for me
stressful.
too. I mean, it's an iconic song. It's an iconic venue. And, you know, but it's the great thing about a song like that at a venue like that is that there's so much history to the song, and there's so much history to that place, that you feel the energy in the walls. You feel that there's such a reverence to everything that's come before you in that space, and everything you want to touch it with and sing there. You want to add to that energy. You want to add to the good juju in the space there. And so truly to sing a song like that in that space, which is definitely not the first time that song has been sung in that space. It's probably been sung in every iconic version of that song has probably been sung in that space. And so
well, let's just give props
Christine
to the
McVie,
writer,
absolutely.
Christine
Yeah.
McVie,
One of her.
Mac. I mean,
Yeah.
what an incredible songwriter, musician. And, you know, I recall this story, and if I don't get all the details right, somebody will correct me, I'm sure. But what I remember when she wrote that song, what I remember reading about it, was that she literally got up, I think it was like 3 a.m, and I don't know why it's always 3 a.m, but that's always
Paul
the time
Simon
you wake
said,
up like,
if you're
oh,
half asleep and you have an idea, get up, write it down, because you always think to yourself, oh, I'll remember it in the morning. You will never remember it in the morning. So thank you, Christine, for getting up and writing it down. Yeah, we're grateful.
She did that. Yeah, she said she got up, went downstairs, got onto the piano, wrote it, and wrote the whole thing in, I don't know, in a very short time. And that, how else would you describe that? That's totally some kind of divine intervention. That's the creative process at work. Like, how would you do, like,
absolutely.
So
I mean, she's incredible, and the songs that she wrote for Fleetwood Mac are among my favorites. And you know, but that thing is what people like Oliver Sacks enjoyed studying. You know, it's where does the muse come from? You know, where does that creative inspiration, and why does it always happen in places that are the most inconvenient? why do the best musical ideas happen when it's 3 a.m. or on an airplane? I get it a lot when I'm looking out the window of an airplane and I'm going, oh God, I have to sing something into my phone next to this stranger. Oh no. And
yeah, I'm sure they would hate that. Oh my God, Josh Groban.
I'm always next to the person
now.
who's trying to sleep.
Like,
so it's or you're in the shower. So a lot of times it's when I'm on a walk. I've got so many songs in my audio app on my phone that are just me hustling down the street. You know?
Okay. I have a theory about that though, and it's sort of like, you know how like when you're driving on a road trip with somebody and you know it's going to be a long time, and you're looking forward and you're just looking out at the view, and you know that you don't have to go anywhere, be anywhere, do anything. I think, allow your mind to wander in a free association sort of way, and things come into it. And a friend of mine, he is a Hindu priest. Okay. His name's Dandapani, and very wise. He's on Instagram. And he told me that many times he has heard that people say great ideas come to them in the shower. And he said, think about it. All that water is beating on your head. And he said one of the chakras, and I don't know about all this stuff, but one of the chakras is at the top of your head. And it's something that, I don't know, creativity comes from it or something like that. And I was like, okay, That's why it's in the shower. Or, but when you're driving, like how many times I have to pull over to the
Yeah,
side of the road, get my phone out, do
absolutely.
the voice
Well,
memo, and
I
then
think that gave
continue
me
on,
that, now that I know that that's where one of the creative chakras is. If I'm ever in the studio and having writer's block, I'll just ask my producer to bonk me on the top of the head, and that'll get me. So
Definitely.
there it is.
Just
Yeah.
boink, 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 boink.
But
That's
it's true.
so
But I think that's
funny.
true. I think it's giving
Well,
yourself permission to not, like, it's the old saying of, like, if you squeeze the sand in your hand, it all falls out. It's the giving your creative mind the permission to just rest and relax. I think there's a lot to that. We're also stressed all the time. It's about giving yourself the chance to not think about anything and then be a vessel for whatever ethereal stuff comes through.
I totally agree with that. Like, I think sometimes because we're creative, there's a real desire and impulse to be creating all the time, but we also have to take into account silence and just allowing all of those ideas to come to you. And every artist in the world, you have to
Yeah.
spend time going to a museum and seeing other people's work, or walking in the forest, or taking a swim or something, so that you're allowing
Yeah.
the thoughts to come up
Absolutely.
and bubble up,
Well, it's the
Exciting.
best therapy. I'm so grateful that I have a
Well,
chance to do it, and so grateful that we got to have some musical therapy together as our vines intertwined. Tell everybody what
oh,
the future is for the album, and what the next steps are going to be.
well, one thing that we have to do is, aside from the lucky people who will be able to see you and continue to see you on your tour, you have literally some of the most amazing venues coming up, that we have something that is premiering today, which is our
That's right.
live performance from
Speaking of that
Radio City
iconic venue,
Music Hall, that people will that's right, that people will be able to see on
excellent.
my YouTube channel, Rita Wilson
That's it. Rita
YouTube. I
too.
guess that's what you do to get to it. And you'll hear us singing it and see us singing it.
That was
I still think
it
it's
was
a
such a
dream.
beautiful
I mean, really.
performance, Rita, and it was so special for me. So soon after recording it, to be able to have you out on the stage, and for us to kind of do it. That was our first time doing it, front to back. Because in the recording sessions, we're kind of bouncing back and forth, and we're trying to get this right and that right. There's something about it just going all the way through in that space when you have the audience. People will definitely want to check that out.
It's so true. Well, I
You too, my
adore
friend.
you. I'm so thankful for you. And thank you for
Thank you
taking
for
the
having
time
me.
this morning to do
IG
this
Live
IG
musically. Thank you so much
Live.
for
And
your musicianship and your friendship. And thanks everybody for watching. It's great chatting with you as always.
thank you. Thanks,
Yeah,
everyone from all around the world. That just touches me. I really have to say thank you. Our song is called Songbird, and it's everywhere streaming now. And the video at Radio City Music Hall will be
check
at
it
my
out.
YouTube channel.
Love you, Rita. Bye, guys.
Thank you, guys. I don't know how to get out of
I
this,
think you
but
look for
if
the
you
big
see me
X.
going
I
like
think
that, you'll
that's
know
what
why.
it is. All right. Bye.
Bye, guys.